Owls who live. Show. Everything good?
Yeah. I ate since the last show. First show was good. Second show is going to be great.
Second show is going to be fantastic. And we have with us Adam the intern with many other nicknames. Harry, back of your head, and Emerson, Fit the Fatty. So
so many nicknames.
Adams, what's going on, man? What has happened in KSU sports this week?
There were no sports this week. The men's and women's basketball team both finalized their rosters, so that's exciting. We saw the both teams pulled some people out of the transfer portal.
Yep.
So,
I've got the basketball lineup roster pulled up, and there's a lot of interesting guys that you wonder. Let me find.
They got the 6'8" guy from West Virginia.
Yes.
Shooter.
Yeah, we also got the combo guard from Alabama.
Correct, and
Number 22 in the country. Isn't that what he was?
No.
He was the 22nd ranked combo guard in the country.
Okay, but that's the freshman.
Yes.
There's also a transfer from the University of Alabama who is the backup guard.
That's R.J. Johnson.
He's only averaging 3 minutes a game, but I'm sure he learned a lot while he was there, and there's a lot of fun things getting ready to happen.
But
at
you
the convocation center.
doesn't have to call him Johnson though.
No, that's R.J. Johnson is the freshman.
I know that. Yeah, it's an old joke, way before your time.
Yeah, back when they had horses and carts and KSU only had 5 buildings.
And hieroglyphics.
The player I'm referring to is Delaney Hurd, who is actually from Canton, Georgia.
Wow.
Guy from Canton, Georgia.
What high school is Delaney from?
That part isn't updated in the system yet, so I do not know. But he is from Canton, Georgia, and he's a senior, so he's been with Alabama for the last 3 years, and now he's coming home.
Well, I watched him play in the because I went to the NCAA tournament. I saw him play in the Texas A&M Corpus Christi game.
Absolutely.
Oh, cool. So a lot of good things were happening. We're actually going to have, hopefully, why?
He's laughing at me.
Oh, well, hopefully going to have Coach Petway on next month. He told me last Tuesday night when I saw him that the basketball schedule for the ASUN is done, but they're still working on some non-conference games, and when we get that done, we'll get him or one of his assistants on here. ATI, you got anything else for us?
No.
Get out of here.
All right.
All right. So with no further ado, we have two track athletes with us tonight that both are coming back from the Nationals in Austin. We're going to start with my good friend, Mr. Anthony Harrison. Anthony, come on in, buddy. And a mighty big hooty hoo welcome to you, my friend.
Hey, hooty hoo, how you doing?
We're good. How are you, sir?
We're doing great. We missed you
great.
terribly. Missed you. Tell us about the trip to Austin.
It was hot. It was certainly very, very hot. But it was a fun trip. I mean, it was a really good experience. I think that this was probably the most competitive NCAA's track meet that we've ever been in. And it was an honor to compete with some of these guys. I mean, this was a world-class meet.
Yeah. So tell us about, you got there on Monday or Tuesday. Tell us about the whole week. Tell us about what, because I know you didn't actually participate until Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So other than calling on the show Wednesday, which I know you did, what else did you do while you were in Austin?
I mean, really, besides just enjoying the city of Austin itself, we were just trying to prep, just trying to go into nationals feeling good.
Not enjoy the city of Austin too much.
Oh, yeah, I know that nightlife can be really
It's a very fun city.
Music is a great thing in Austin, Texas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just going into the city and seeing the atmosphere is insane.
Yeah.
It's a really good vibe. I mean, we flew in, like, on Sunday, actually. We got in early. We just rested in. And for most of the time that I was there, I got to walk around. I got to see some of my old friends from high school because they made it to the meet.
Wow.
Just caught up with some friends. Yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of good experiences.
And just for the record, to those at home, he's not from Texas, so anybody who we went to high school with had to do a plane, a bus, and possibly a rental car as well. New York, correct?
Oh, yes,
Brooklyn.
Sir. Up northern, right?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yes, sir. Represent.
Yeah. So what's funny to me is I imagine very few athletes come from the same high school and both make national track meet. So you must have some good talent coming out of New York.
Yeah, I mean, up north, we're slept on. You know, we got a lot of good people coming in from New York, New Jersey. But, you know, funny enough.
Nobody good from the Northern Highlands, though, right?
We like to keep it in the city.
Yeah.
I got to do a little research on who you don't like. So
Oh, yeah, nah. We like to keep it in the city, right?
absolutely.
I say, yeah, I mean, I got to see a bunch of really, really strong talent that I got to compete against in high school. A lot of old friends. Like, shout out to my guy, Kyle, who goes to Rutgers. Great guy.
Rutgers.
Yeah.
Scarlet Knights. Yeah, that's cool. So who won the meet in terms of your event? Tell everybody what your event is and what you did. Because a lot of people may have missed the show last time when Anthony and Callie were on. Like someone to my right at the softball game he had to go to. So he wants to hear your story as well.
12-year-olds playing softball is my cup of tea, man.
That's what you got to do.
Doesn't get better than that, right? I believe I'm a discus thrower. I mainly go just into the field events. I do shot put on the side. I also do hammer throw, but discus is the main one.
Okay.
The throw that won was 66 meters by Turner Washington from Arizona State. I believe the discus event was insane. I got 22nd, but I mean, with that throw that I had, I would have probably been a lot better off in previous years. Like, this was probably the most similar it would get to, like, a World Series meet.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it was competitive. I mean, you just have a lot of guys nowadays that are just coming out the woodworks.
How many people qualified in throughout in Texas?
It was 24.
24?
Yeah, so
I know it's nearly impossible to even make it to Texas, so it's quite an achievement.
yeah, I mean, going to regionals, there's a lot of big guys that flunk out of regionals. So for people that don't know how regionals function, is that we take the top 48 athletes from the East and West region, and we split them into two different meets, and then they take the top 12 out of that 48. So to be in that top 12 just is a really big
Right.
experience. It's a lot of pressure too. So the fact that I made it to the big stage and I got to see what it was like to throw with just like world-class athletes was a crazy experience.
So let me ask you this, because it's real easy to envision somebody who lives in Nebraska who's got nothing but flat land all around them to start throwing things. Being a guy from the city, how did you become a thrower?
Really, it was just off of, I guess, like intuition. It was something that I just found. I originally did track to stay in shape for football. That's kind of like the throwers, every thrower's origin story. We're just like big guys that get off the football field and want to keep active. And, you know, I started to do running. I was a skinny guy back in high school, so they tried to put me in like the 100, the 200. Oh yeah, no, this is Southern grown. This is the eggs and the grits with the biscuits and gravy. This is why I got big. But
You hear that at home. If you're watching from Brooklyn, you got to eat grits.
oh man, and you got to make sure you put a little extra bit of salt and cheese in there too.
Listen,
A little bit of hot sauce never hurt anybody.
Anthony's
do that.
throwing down
Add a
his
little
menu
tang.
here. This
He
is
is.
all right.
But yeah, it was a weird experience. I think I was just tired of running. I hated it, especially when you're in the 30 degree weather. It's cold.
You had to run to stay warm, right?
Oh man, that was just a half of it.
Yeah.
That was half of the workout, was trying not to freeze.
Yeah.
And pretty much I just saw a bunch of people throwing in the corner, and I was like, what is this? It's kind of fun. I like to throw the football around, so I figured it wouldn't be different. And I walked up. You know, my coach, he was like, you know, what are you doing over here? We're not here to play games. And I was like, you know, coach, give me a chance. And he decided to let me have at it. And I guess it went on from there. I fell in love with it.
Nice. Do you still stay in touch with anybody from your old high school? Or?
Oh, yeah. I talk with kids a lot of the time. I talk with kids all the time. I actually, I do a bunch of coaching on the side. So I have a lot of kids that throw at my school that I reach out. I was actually working with a kid. His name was Sherry. Yeah, he was a real good kid. I was able to coach him up a little bit. It sucks that I'm not home all the time to be there in person, but yeah, I try to stay true to my hometown.
Good. Now, go ahead.
That just cracks me up that you're what, 20, 21?
I'm 22. I'm an old man.
22.
Man.
And
He's old.
he's talking about, hey, he's a good kid. You know?
Yeah, he's a good wiseacre.
I would say he's a good embryo to me. So there you go.
Hey, I feel like I'm 22 going on 50 sometimes.
There you go.
So tell us about your adventure to Kennesaw, Georgia. How did this happen?
Really, it just started off as kind of me just trying to get out of New York. Really, I just felt like I've been there all my life. I've lived in the city. I've lived up north, in the grass fields with the cows. Because, people think that New York is just a big city all around, but that's just the tip of it.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
you get up in upstate, as they call it.
Or
It's
further up,
like
Long Island.
Long Island.
Long Island, yes, sir. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, I've been all around. Like, I've seen everything in there. And it was just like, why not try something new? And I had the opportunity to come down to Kennesaw for an official visit. And actually, you weren't here last time when I said it. I committed on my visit here. Literally, my coach, he gave me the rundown. He said, look, this is what we're going to do. When you get here, we're going to have high expectations for you, and we're only going to move as such. And for some reason, I bought into it, and I don't regret it at all.
Callie's shadow boxing over there, and I think it's starting to scare.
I think she's warming up. I don't know. She's she's going nuts over here.
Hey, the way she's warming up, she might squat 2 people. You never know.
And I do have to say, that's anytime I see a Yankee hat, it's horrible. But at least you have the colors right. It's kind of like your KSU.
It's a KSU Yankee
It's
hat.
the KSU version. So
Hey, best of both worlds, right?
absolutely.
There you go. That's cool. So you've got one more year of competition, 2 more years.
I got 1 more year left.
1 more year. What are you going to do with it?
Trying to bring home that trophy for you guys.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the SAW. I mean,
Now, do you get a COVID 5th year if you chose?
Yep. So pretty much for all the people that came into like college in 2019, once COVID shut everything down, they pretty much gave us a whole entire year of eligibility back. So
is that what you were going to be doing this year?
yes, sir.
So this is the 5th year.
Yep.
I got you.
It will be your 5th year of competition.
And on the site, it showed you were a junior, so I wasn't sure if this was year 4 or year 5. That's why I was wondering.
Oh yeah. So when they go about eligibility, they don't go by your actual like grade class. They go based off of the amount of years that you have.
I got you.
So when they say it's a junior, it's just because it's my technically 3rd year of eligibility.
I got you.
That's cool. So will you graduate before track season starts, or?
Yeah, so since I decided to take my 5th year, I'm pretty much I decided to just stretch everything out because...
Why rush it? Yeah.
Yeah, why rush it? I mean, I've already kind of had eyes on the career path I want to go down, and thankfully from the research I've done, I don't have to go back to grad school. It's something I can hop into, so I just want to take this year easy, focus on track, focus on getting my job set up. So by the time I graduate, I'll be good.
And he's a permanent rebel now. He's not going back up north. He loves it here.
You know what they call that around here?
What they call
That's
it?
a damn Yankee. Yeah. Yankees go home, damn Yankees
Stay here.
I've been told that my whole life. So
You know what's so funny? I actually have met so many up northerners since I came down to Georgia.
absolutely.
They say the same thing. They was like, well, I wanted to get out, and ever since they came down to the South, they love it.
Well, there's a lot more of you here than there are me. I mean, there's a lot more infiltrators, whatever you want to call them, than us natives that have lived here our whole lives.
And
No,
we're coming to take
absolutely.
over, man.
No,
Robert's a damn Yankee.
I moved here when I was 7, and people still don't accept me as a local. So what am I going to do about it?
My family are damn Yankees.
And
No way.
well,
Hey.
What
I
are
see
you?
It's commonality.
that's all I was going to ask.
I'm not a damn Yankee.
What he was. We'll find out. ATI will be back in the show later, maybe.
So if there's anybody back home watching from Ramapo High School, why should they follow your footsteps and come on down to KSU?
I mean, who wouldn't want to love a different atmosphere? I think that culture shock, it gets to you. And then for one, the food. I mean, we got our bacon, egg, and cheeses. We got the chopped cheese and the halal food, but I don't know if it compares to the country southern home cooked meals. Like,
When you first moved down, did you ask anybody like where the bodega was, and everybody just looked at you like, "What's a bodega?" I don't even know what that is.
I was like, I was like, where are the corner stores at? They was like,
corner stores,
right?
Yeah, a bodega.
You talking about QT? And I was like, that's a gas station, man. I'm talking about like the real corner stores, like where the Spanish people be at. They was like, man, I don't know what you talking about.
Doraville. That's what they are. Yeah. Hey, let's get the commercial out of the way, and then we'll continue with Anthony. Alvin Jameson.
Hey, Alvin Jameson here, the mortgage guy. Are you looking to get pre-approved for a home loan? Or maybe you want to build a house from the ground up? Are you curious, or better yet, is your significant other on your back about making renovations in your current home? Call me. I have options for you. All self-employed individuals. Are you torn between writing off all your income or having to show your income to qualify for a house? I have a third alternative for you. Whether you're a W-2 employee, self-employed individual looking to do a purchase or pull money out of your current house, or better yet, we can't forget the investors out there. If you have that high interest rate, hard money loan and looking to refinance out of it, again, give me a call. I have options. Below are the states that I'm personally licensed in. Call me, 404-587-9033. Again, 404-587-9033. Visit the website, alvinjameson.com.
Who Live Sports, as well as the three guys who love sports that we do at 5 o'clock right here, it was our house on Wednesdays. So Alvin Jameson was just talking about options. Anthony, what are your options when you graduate?
I mean, I would say I'm in one of those positions where I've been blessed to open a lot of doors for myself. I would say I have a couple options. If track really turns out to be a really legitimate professional career for me, that's something I'm going to pursue. But I always got to make sure I have a backup plan, and that's really starting my career. I've always had a really passion for working with people, which is why I got into SGA. And for people who who are watching and don't know, I'm the vice president of SGA.
VP of Student Government Association. That's my man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we are here for you. Hootie hoo, remember that. Hootie hoo, we are here for you. And yeah, so just based off of my passion for working with people and just being of service, I've looked into HR. And I'm currently working on getting my certificates ready and pretty much just building business connections. That's it.
Yeah, well, your buddy Chuck's going to help you with that. So, yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
So we're going to go to, Anthony says he's vice president of the Student Government Association, but on July the 5th, here at Miller's Ale House, we're going to have a special guest in Raymond Goskowls. I don't know if you know Raymond or not, but he was the gentleman that was on the Jeopardy college tournament and came in second. And he is going to be coming in here on the 5th, and we're going to have our own sports KSU Jeopardy show. And Raymond's going to help us sponsor that. So my man Anthony is going to help us spread the word throughout KSU and through the Student Government Association.
Oh, yeah. We going to make sure it happens. Be there or be square. Remember that.
See, that's what I like about Anthony. He's ready to jump in.
Well, it's one thing, it's so difficult to just be a student. And then when you try to be a student athlete and, how that just doubles your workload. And then you're going to become the student body president or vice president. You're talking about just so many things keeping you going. You don't have any time to do anything bad.
I pretty much am so occupied. I mean, my girlfriend, she pretty much keeps my head on straight. I'm always running from place to place. My Outlook calendar looks literally insane. I spend hours just trying to schedule out my day. I mean, it's just one of those things where if you want it bad enough, you're going to do it. I come from a family of hard workers. I guess that's kind of the city mentality. You work hard, you move fast, and I try to carry that with me wherever I go.
So she's got the headphones on now. You want to tell what you said about her?
I said
I don't believe that at all. She looks very nice to me.
Yeah, she seems nice. She smiled at me. I don't know why you're saying something.
Look, it's the nice ones that bite. Don't let that fool you. But she's real passionate about, keeping my head on straight. She's always there for me. She tries to always make sure I'm on top of my schedule.
And tell everybody your name.
Miss London Pittman.
London Pittman. Isn't that nice?
I like how he said
happy to have London with us.
Absolutely.
So it's bad outside. You can say it's a London fog. Yeah. I like London.
Now, I asked you this when we were talking on the phone when you were out in Texas, but what's the chances that you came here and there was a guy from the Bronx on your team? I mean, did that kind of catch you off guard? Because the idea of throwers coming from the city is still mind-boggling to me, let alone there's 2 of you.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where I just, it kind of hit like a truck. Like, I didn't know. You know, Courtney actually came in after my first year, and my coach was like, yeah, you know, we have a transfer coming in from JUCO. And I got the chance to talk to him, and I was like, hey, man, you know, when you come in, like, talk to me if you need anything. And we just got to get to know each other. And he was like, yeah, you know, my family's from the Bronx, and I'm from New York. I was like, no way. And, like, we just clicked instantly because, you know, we come from similar cultures, and that was something that was real cool. Like, I probably would have never guessed in the Millionaires, to be honest.
But you guys actually had to say it to know it. He didn't say a word where you're like, huh, where are you from? You didn't pick up on anything like where you said something that only a New Yorker would say.
Like a bodega or something like that.
Yeah, it was funny. We was having a conversation, and, like, I believe it was something about back home. We was talking about food. And I was like, yeah, bro, I haven't had a chopped cheese in a hot minute, man. It's been a break. And he was like, oh, where? Yeah, I haven't had one in a minute. So I was like, where? You know about chopped cheese? And it was crazy because that's when we started to click. And then, you know, we both come from, like, Jamaican families.
Okay.
So we also bonded over that, and it was a crazy experience.
Have you ever heard of chopped cheese?
I have heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
It's a first for me, yeah.
Oh, see, I'm going to break it down. Like, you ever have a hamburger?
Yes.
No. What's a hamburger? Yeah, I think we've had that.
See, back in your day, what you say you had the mustard and jelly sandwiches?
Oh, good Lord. I can't believe you shared that with
Mustard
me.
and grape jelly sandwiches. That's the best.
Larry, you're supposed to keep him on target when I'm not around.
Oh, man.
Keep him on task.
But, yeah, so you pretty much take a hamburger patty and you ground it up. It's basically a grounded up cheeseburger. But it's the stuff they put. It's like they put sazon. They cook it on like a oil grill.
What was that first one? They put it on
Sazon.
Yeah, that's for my Spanish people out there. Sazon. It's a type of Spanish seasoning. It's kind of like it's like all seasoned salt.
Okay.
But they just have a bunch of extra stuff in it. It's good.
So it's no bun. It's just.
Oh no! They got a bun.
It's on a bun.
You do it on a roll. You can do it on a hero. I usually love it on a hero because I'm a big guy. So
You guys are my heroes. So.
Oh, see, no, you're my hero, man. You guys are doing it for me.
So that's pretty cool. I've been to New York and I've grabbed a hot dog off the street. I have pizza in New York, probably the best pizza I've ever had.
Thank you.
58th Street, just south of Central Park.
So
one
you got
block
the good
south.
stuff.
Yeah, I ate at Mickey Mantle's restaurant. Have you ever eaten there?
Oh yeah, they're beautiful. They got like the dollar pieces, right? The big ones.
Well, I'll tell you this. I ate at Mickey Mantle's restaurant, and I walked in and I said, I love wings. I want the mildest wings you've got. She said, okay. So they brought me out like 8 wings. Took me an hour and a half to eat these 8 wings and like 4 napkins from cleaning my eyes. I said, I thought these were most. She said, that's the only sauce we have. I said, oh, my God.
That is as mild as we come, Southern boy.
I thought I was going to die.
Go big or go home, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
But a great place. I love Central Park, walking through there. Like, great place to visit. I don't think I could live there. But
oh yeah, you know it's funny. I get that all the time from my friends. They're like, man, I don't know how you can just wake up every morning to all that noise and commotion.
But everybody compares what they think they know about New York to Law and Order. You know, you were in Brooklyn, so you weren't in the park with all of that. Not that there's not a ton of people in Brooklyn, but 4th largest city in 1900, just for the record, before it was incorporated and became part of New York City.
Yeah.
It was the 4th largest city in America.
Brooklyn
Oh
was.
wow,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a big city, but yeah, it's much different than being down in Soho or something like that.
Little Italy.
Little Italy.
Yeah. I'll never forget the first time I went to New York, I was at Central Park. And a friend of mine had just got a job in New York City. He said, well, I'll meet you down at Little Italy for dinner. I said, okay, cool. And he said, just take the train down. I said, nah, I'll walk. So I walked the whole way from 59th Street all the way down to Little Italy.
Yeah, that was definitely a true.
My shoes were about fell off before the time I got there. I had no idea, but I never rode the subway. But I love New York just for the anticipation, for the energy of the city.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough to beat.
So now, because you are a thrower, you only do outdoor track and field. Is that correct? Or do you have an indoor? Are you part of the indoor team as well?
Yeah, so when it comes to indoors, we have a slightly different regimen when it comes to the events we throw. Instead of like the hammer, the discus, and the javelin, we do just shot put and weight throw.
Okay.
So indoor season, I'm mostly a shot putter and a weight thrower. So that's a good little time to dabble in different events.
I got you. But that's mostly in the fall and then the outdoors in the spring?
Yeah, so we usually take the fall season, and that's our off season. So we train all the way from like pretty much July till December, and then going into January is the start of indoor season, and then we go till March. And then after March is when we hop into outdoor season, and that's when we switch from like the shot put and weight throw over to like the discus, hammer, javelin.
I know racquetball players don't play tennis, and tennis players don't play racquetball because it's a different swing, it's a different sport. Yeah. So have you ever found that, shot put is not helping the discus game? Or do you do it in a way where it's all good with you?
Funny enough, it actually is. You actually have a good idea about it. That's what a lot of like weight throwers say about hammer. So hammer is actually an event that we do internationally. Weight throw is just something that Americans do. I don't know why we're just backwards that way. But what my coach has with this, he has a philosophy that, you do other events to help strengthen your other events. So pretty much like, if you come in as a discus thrower, they want you throwing the weight throw. They want you throwing shot put because they think it helps strengthen your muscles and prepares you for outdoor season. I feel like the only real throwers that don't have an indoor season is javelin, because their body types are a little bit different than most of the throwers that you see. They're not the big husky guys that are walking around. They're more the ripped and athletic guys. They train a lot more like gymnasts.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because when I used to play on like 6 softball teams for 13 years, but I found out playing softball messed up my golf swing, or my golf swing messed up my softball swing. So that's kind of where you were going, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's just difficult to cross sports, but I can see where if there's similar muscle activity that would be beneficial and not just.
Yeah, that's something that Callie experiences a lot because she's mainly a hammer thrower. So when she's indoors, she throws the weight most of the time, and you have to, even though you spin similarly, like you have to do the 3 spins and you throw it. The implement is different. Like with the weight throw, I believe for girls, it's a 20-pound ball on a triangle. And then when you go to outdoor season, you're throwing an 8-pound ball on a long wire. So the implement's further away from you. So you get into like so many different forms of physics and the way it pulls you and how you have to be in the equilibrium of everything. It gets complicated, but
very scientific. Not just go out there and throw it.
Oh yeah, I mean when you dive into the loop, dive into the rabbit hole of throwing. I mean you have guys that are looking into like applied physics to explain how to throw the implement right. It gets real different.
It's science.
That's very cool.
Yeah. See, I'm a sucky guy at science, so I listen to what my coach tells me.
There you go.
That's good.
And we hope Coach Kell's watching tonight. I talked to him today, and he said, the kids are coming on tonight? I said, yeah, they're coming on. He said, all right, I just want to make sure they know. I said, yeah, they know. We're in charge.
Hey, Coach, I seen you on the grill.
There you go, Coach Kell.
Look back at it, barbecue. Make sure you guys check it out.
Is he a good cook?
Oh, he can grill.
Can he?
One thing about Mr. McDaniel, he can cook some meat up. He is good.
You got another okay from Callie over there.
We need to have a party at Coach Kell's place, obviously.
Absolutely.
Well, Anthony, we thank you for being on, buddy, as always.
Hey, it's a pleasure, man.
And we'll get together soon with the Student Government Association. And we're going to go to a commercial and get our other guests on. How about a big hootie hoo from my man, Anthony Harrison? Aiden, I didn't hear a hootie hoo from you. Okay, that's better. Thank you. We have a next guest, but let's get Bearcat Express out of the way.
Do you need a delivery right now? Then go now, please. Bearcat Express has expedited shipping on hand-carried items, car, van, or pickup. Whether it's from Atlanta to Athens, Dothan to Augusta, Memphis to Charlotte, and all points in between, we've got the drivers to get your stuff where it needs to be. Whether your passport's still on the dresser, your 5-wood isn't in your bag, or you have the dog that hates to fly, Bearcat Express with their live tracking capabilities is the team to turn to. We are the go-to courier in the Southeast, and check us out at bearcatexpress.com.
And we thank you, Blair Cook, for being a sponsor of Three Guys Who Love Sports and our show now, the Owls Who Live Sports. So thank you for both of those. And we have a new guest. She's back. Callie Terz, everybody,
Guess
ladies and
who's
gentlemen. Hooty-hoo for Callie. Callie, what are you laughing at? So, because Robert, I have to tell you, when she first came on the show, she stood there, I don't want to be home, I don't want to be home, I don't want to be home. And then she runs the show by the end of the show. So that's what we're dealing with.
I heard as
warming
much.
up.
I heard as much.
Yeah.
So tell me about your adventure in Texas. How was that?
I gotta go with Anthony. It was really hot.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
what was the temperature?
It had to have been. I think it was a solid 98.
And this is a Georgia girl saying it was hot.
Oh yeah, and it felt like 101. I think was the feel like
The heat
temperature.
index? Woo.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That's hot.
But I got a good tan, and I came back and looked good. So it went away. But
The hottest I have ever been was in Austin, Texas. My brother used to be chief of police at Bergstrom Air Force Base, which is now the International Airport.
Okay.
117 degrees. And the Thunderbirds were flying that day. And the heat from the airplanes caught the infield grass on fire.
Oh.
And these jackrabbits were running away. Everybody was going to get in the pool. But the water was boiling in the pool. It was so hot. It wasn't
Oh, my
quite boiling.
gosh.
But it was a hot, hot swimming pool. I did not want to go
it was
swimming.
basically like a hot tub.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you don't want that in
I am not a
Texas.
fan of the weather of Texas.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
And it's also super humid.
Oh,
and
yeah.
My hair was a mess. I don't know if you guys saw any pictures from the meet, but it was bad. My hair was like frizzed up everywhere. Like they made me a cool little hype video, but it was all ruined because I had massive hair. It was bad.
So you threw Thursday morning, right, at 10, or that's when you were supposed to throw?
Yeah, so I was supposed to throw at 10.
And it
then,
rained or it got postponed?
Yeah, so we had thunderstorms like all morning. And so they kept pushing it back and they pushed it back. And I think we eventually threw it. No, I threw at 3:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I threw at 3:30. It may have been 4:30 by the time I threw.
Yeah.
It was bad. They moved the whole meet. But honestly, that was good for me because I was super nervous that morning. So I kind of needed a little bit.
I don't see you as a nervous type. That's why I laugh.
Don't
Yeah.
worry. She said she's scared to squat me. So
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
let's get there when we get there.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I always talk about when you eat before a meet, whether you're a basketball player or a track star, you have this regular schedule that you're going through, and hey, I'm going to wake up at this time, I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to be ready. When your event gets changed by
Delayed,
7
yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
how does that affect you? I mean, it's pretty sizable.
Yeah, so usually on like competition days, I find it really hard to eat anyway because I'm usually like, really
Nervous.
adrenaline rushing
Sure.
and stuff. But I remember on this particular day, I woke up at like 9 and I went down and had a big breakfast.
Because you knew it was going to be.
Yeah, because it was already. I mean, as soon as we woke
gotcha.
up, we knew it was gonna be a minute. So I remember I went down and I had bacon, sausage, waffles, fruit cups. I had biscuits. They had the little like potatoes, seasoned potatoes. I had all those, and I went back for seconds on the potatoes. Yeah, I just remember it was a very big breakfast. And so when like lunchtime came around and the nerves started hitting, I was like, oh. I was warming up and I was like, oh. But it was. I mean, yeah. So I usually don't necessarily eat especially if I compete in the morning. But I remember on this day I had a really big breakfast and then I just skipped out on lunch. But as soon as I finished throwing, I called Coach Kale and I was like, Coach Kale, I gotta eat. Like I need to eat. And so they kept us in this little box after we threw because I was in the first flight. So there was a whole other flight after us, and they wouldn't let us leave just in case any of us made it to the finals. So Coach Kale snuck me in some nachos from the concession stand. I ate nachos, and then as soon as we got back, I was like, Coach Mike, McDonald's now. I need a burger and fries. And so we went through a McDonald's, and I got a burger and fries. The quarter pounder,
Nice.
the big one.
See, I would have thought you would have eaten healthier than the burger and fries.
Oh no! I was ready for something.
The competition was over and she was ready to
Yeah.
splurge.
I mean, I'm a thrower anyway, so it doesn't matter what I eat. But after I compete, I need like large fry, Diet Coke, burger, and milkshake, all in the same meal. Yeah.
What flavor milkshake?
Oreo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do like Oreo or cookies and cream.
Yeah.
And I do like birthday cake better though, but not a
Oh,
lot
I
of
do
places
too.
have the birthday cakes.
Yeah, the birthday
Can't do
cake
the
blizzards at
Yeah,
Dairy Queen.
yeah. Or the M&M McFlurries from McDonald's.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's one of my also favorites.
So you didn't compete till Thursday. And you guys flew in on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do for 3 days?
Well, Monday we practiced.
Yeah.
Tuesday we practice.
And what does practice look like? How many throws do you make in a typical practice?
Not a lot. So if we go out there, we'll typically take 2 entries and anywhere from 2 to 3 fulls. So it's 5 or less throws. We don't want to go over that because.
And explain to us the difference between an entry and a throw.
Okay. Yeah. So an entry is you'll go in the ring, and especially if it's like a 2-turn entry. So I 3-turn in competition. So an entry will just be an easy 2-turn. So it's the throw without the last turn, just to kind of get a feel for the ring, get a feel of the release, kind of feel the ball a little bit. And then after the first one, you go into a second 2-turn entry, which will be a little more hard. That's where you kind of throw it far. And then, so that way when you go into your fulls, it's kind of like doing a warm-up set before you bench.
Yeah. It's almost like stretching.
Yeah, like you're not going to go and max out on your bench. You're going to do some warm-up sets. So it just kind of helps you get warmed
And they
up
have like
bit.
a curve there where you have to come up to in the throw, no, or not?
The end of the circle.
The end of the circle, yeah.
Yeah,
like it's like a speed bump or something.
It's a raised bar that goes across, right? Or a piece of wood?
No.
How do they keep you in there? How do they know if it's a foul
okay.
or a penalty?
Like you had a foot fault or something.
Yeah,
Correct.
so the ring's actually like this, and then you step down into the ring. So it's like, I mean, it's a lip. It's about that big. And so when you get in there, you'll have to always enter through the back. You can't enter through the front. And so you always enter through the back of the ring. And then there's like a little lip. And so with your foot like hits it, that's fine, but it can't go over it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you can hit it, you can touch the rim a bit, but you just can't go over
What's that lip made out of?
It's like, it's a little metal kind of outline thing.
I always thought it was like, something you could trip over.
Oh, no.
Gotcha.
So it's a concrete ring, and then it'll be like concrete, and then I think it's like a little metal rim, and then it's just concrete again.
I got you.
So yeah, it's definitely not.
But nothing you're going to fall and get hurt.
No.
Okay,
No.
cool. That's cool. Now, you only throw the hammer, right?
Well, I do a little bit of shot put.
Yeah. More so this coming year, or?
No.
No?
So I did shot put in high school, and I was okay. For high school, I was okay. And so when I got to college, I started doing hammer, but then Coach K wanted to keep my shot put for conference, kind of the meets that would score points. So we wouldn't touch it at all season. And in conference, I'd go into a stand throw. So I don't know if you guys know shot put, but usually you do the little rotational or a glide. I stand there. I literally hold the ball like this, throw it.
No turns at all?
Nothing.
Wow.
No. Yeah, so I stand there, and I'm not bad, but Coach K would say I am.
Well, but you're not doing it the way that you're supposed to maximize.
Well, I can't learn it.
Correct.
They've tried to teach me. I fall at practice. I complain. It doesn't click for me. So, yeah.
You don't seem much of a complainer to me either. But.
Oh, when it comes to shot put, I am.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to ask your mom and dad about that if you're a complainer. Callie, a complainer?
I started nodding to see if I could get them to do it. They both
I think my
froze.
question was answered. Oh, that's funny.
So I wasn't on the show the very first time. I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
So you're driving down the road in your Corvette, right? It's a 2-seater.
This is theoretical, obviously.
NIL theoretical.
Okay.
Yeah.
NIL theoretical.
Okay.
So you're driving down the road in your Corvette and you see 2 girls hitchhiking. One's wearing a Woodstock High School shirt and the other one's wearing a Sequoia shirt. Is there a chance either one of them's getting picked up, or are you leaving both of them on the side of the road?
I'll tell him what I tell him last week, or for whenever I was on the show. I'm picking both of them up, and then I'm dropping them off in a remote location. I didn't see them. I don't know what you're talking about, officer.
I don't.
Where do you need to go? Oh,
you
no,
guys need to ride?
I'm not going that way, but let me tell you where I'm going to take it.
It's a good thing your current age, because if you were like 30 years older,
that'd be a little weird.
You'd have taken them out to 1,000 Acres, which is Town Lake area, back before there was any houses.
That's hilarious. So you remember last time, Callie, we had a question from someone in the audience. I think we have another one. Will Renfro, do you have another question for Callie?
Callie?
Okay,
I did it last time,
let's
too. So, Adam, give up your chair there for a minute.
I'm not giving up my chair.
Hey,
Give up
listen
your
to the
headphones
boss
and your
man.
mic.
Hey, you stole my headphones
Hey,
and my water.
Hey.
All right, here we go.
All right, so Will Renfro, ladies and gentlemen, hooty hoo for Will.
Hooty-hoo.
All right. So last time we talked, we determined that you like to squat guys.
Men.
Oh, well, that leaves one of our contestants out.
You just threw a curveball on my whole next question.
I'm I'm just kidding.
Because I want to know if we can see this live.
Oh.
Ooh, Callie squatting somebody live. Is that something you're willing to do, Callie?
Hey, if the fans want to see it, I got to give it to them.
Fans
That's my
wanna see-
girl, Callie. All right. So, you know what we're going to do is, who do you think we should have her squat, Robert? Somebody small, weighs probably less than 100 pounds.
Hey.
Oh, don't do them like
Hey.
that.
Hey.
What about that intern guys you have?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, Adam the intern.
Okay, but
Phil a fatty?
So, you know what? I want you to go warm up a little bit and get ready. We're going to get Carrick and Garrett over here to sponsor, to spot.
where are we doing this at? Do we have the room?
We didn't ask you who you wanted.
Oh, we're just gonna do it right here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it right
You
here.
want to do it right there or right here?
No, right
Wherever
here, so we
you
get the
feel
camera.
comfortable.
But
I
I want to get Aiden on here first.
Oh,
Aiden,
Aiden.
come back over here. I'm going to interview you for a second. Go around the other way while your sister's getting ready for this. Thank you, Will
That's
Winfield.
a friend, not a
My
brother.
sister.
Oh, I thought he was brother.
Oh,
No, that's the brother.
that's the brother.
Oh, okay. I thought they were both brothers. He's
No.
just a friend.
He's the friend.
Thank you for being a friend. There's Caitlin.
Aiden.
Aiden, come
They
over here,
just called
buddy.
you my brother.
My brother.
Oh, I'm getting warmed up over here.
Yeah.
I think she's already warmed up. While Anthony was on the mic.
So I wanted to ask you questions. So you know Callie pretty well?
I do.
All right. From the track team, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you think she can squat this squirt
Without problem, for sure.
without a problem?
Without-
So you would be willing to do that as well?
No. I would not.
So tell us what you told me you're going to throw the javelin.
Yes, sir.
And you're a freshman.
Yes, sir.
So you haven't competed yet.
Well, so I was on the team last year, but after the first meet, I tore my UCL.
Ooh.
So I had to get Tommy John surgery and
Oh,
just
yeah.
working on rehab.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So be good to go by you don't have indoor session, do you?
No, sir.
So by next spring,
Yes, sir.
you'll be ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Listen, this guy's polite. Where'd you go to high school?
Niceville.
Niceville.
High
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
and down in the Panhandle near Pensacola, just a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit north of Pensacola, right?
School. Yes, sir.
All right, that's cool. Well, as you progress in your career at KSU, we want to get you back on and talk to you more about what's going on.
We'll talk to you more about
when you
Fort
get to the
Walton Beach
Nationals.
High School at that point.
Fort Walton Beach High
Yeah,
School.
he's not a fan of Fort Walton Beach
No,
High
sir.
School.
No, sir.
So is Mariana near there too?
I think they're about an hour away from
Yeah,
Niceville.
that's near Florida A&M, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, I think. Well, hang on a second. We're not ready yet. Oh, you,
Behind the scenes over here. Close your eyes.
I can't close my eyes and talk at the same time. So.
Adam, relax, Adam.
Oh wait. All right.
Yeah, I think the behind the scenes.
Okay, she's
just-
warmed up.
Okay.
You warmed up now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she already did too.
All
I think
right.
that works.
So Larry, let's see if we can turn the podcast camera over to Callie.
Finish the interview.
Well, he's done his purpose. We wanted him to be filling time while Callie had to warm up lifting 85 pounds or whatever it is. All right.
I'm
Aiden,
ready
thanks
when
for
you are.
coming, buddy.
Yes, sir.
And we'll get you
Absolutely.
back in
We
next
look-
time, all right?
We look
sir.
forward to having you
Hooty
back
hoo
on.
for Aiden, everybody. All right, Callie, the TikTok star, is now going to be. She is now going to be squatting Adam Crooks, also known as ATI, and Emerson the Fatty.
Which, as I pointed out to Adam, no matter how many times he gets squatted in his life, he'll never forget his first. And I have a feeling this will always be his best.
And he won't have squatters' rights after this. will
No, he will not have
So
squatters'
will not
rights.
have squatters'
No
rights.
squatters' rights.
All right, let's see if we can get about 100 out of this. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. How about a big hand for Callie, everybody? Oh, yeah.
Oh, guys.
Here you go, Carrick. Give that to me.
Ooh.
Larry, give that to me.
That's going to the worker.
I know it is. Give me that. Larry, hand me that money.
Oh, we're showing them?
Yeah.
Normally, I make girls take me out to dinner before I let them squat me, but
Hey, normally
Hey, it's
Callie
ni- it's
wouldn't
nice
let you
you made an
squat her unless
exception.
you took her out to dinner first.
How about we trade now? Do a little switch. You squat me.
I can't. I can't squat you.
Wait.
I can't squat you.
But that day's coming.
saw-
ATI has become a gym rat.
Yeah. Hey,
I can't squat her.
give me one of those straws over there, Sean. I think ATI could squat a straw. I think that'd be about it for him.
Let's keep those shots above the belt.
All right. So from Carrick Martin, here's your $20 for doing the squats on ATI. So that was
Thank you.
pretty cool.
Thank you.
So now so many questions come to mind. But Robert, we haven't done our last commercial yet.
We have not.
Let's get it out of the way. Then this is going to get real crazy.
All right.
Now it's going to get crazy. Squatting
It wasn't
on
crazy
camera
when
wasn't
I
the
got
crazy
squatted.
part. The crazy part happens now.
Yeah.
Modern Image is a locally owned document and photograph scanning company that helps clients secure and use paper files and photos. Whether it's important business files or sentimental family photos and videos, Modern Image is dedicated to helping clients solve problems around paper. Go Owls.
Go Owls indeed. And that's pretty cool. Of course, I don't talk much about the show anymore, but we're here to raise NIL money for KSU sports. So if you guys want to give some, just like Carrick did to my good friend Callie for squatting ATI.
Well
I
deserved.
gotta say, she was a little rough on the dismount.
I think that's your issue,
Well,
not hers.
Yeah, you were a little
technically-
lopsided.
Hey,
Your
starting
weight's not evenly distributed.
starting from here, nothing, and it gets
Yeah.
worse as you go down. Yeah.
I just want to point out if you've ever watched a weightlifting competition, they're never worried about the dismount. It's 1, 2, and then when they're done, they just
Yeah, 'cause
throw
they
that
just
back.
throw
So
the
be
bar.
glad you didn't get
So
thrown.
lucky you didn't
in
get
that
tossed across the
process.
bar. Yeah. So is that the first time you ever been paid for squatting somebody?
Yes. I didn't know I
That's
could
a
make
good
money
thing you
off
said
this.
yes.
Now you know. Yeah,
I
that's
just
great.
lost my money.
That's
Found it.
fantastic. Oh, anything on the floor belongs to the host.
Oh.
no, I was kidding.
Saved it.
Yeah. So that's funny. So we appreciate you doing that. What's left in your career? You're just a sophomore, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got 2 more years of this.
3 probably.
Oh, 3?
3, because you do get a COVID fifth year as well.
That's
well,
awesome.
I don't get a COVID year. I came in a year later, but I'm gonna redshirt this next year, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you won't participate this next year at all?
just for 1 season.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip flop. That way I can kind of still compete. And I'll still do unattached, and I'll try to do USAs and stuff. But I want to stay a 5th year. So.
Yeah.
So explain to me and the audience a little bit about what you just said. You're
About
gonna
redshirting.
you're gonna redshirt this year. So tell me what that entails.
So each athlete gets a redshirt season, and since we have 2 seasons per track season, you get indoor and outdoor. So I'm in a redshirt probably outdoor season, which means I get to compete indoor. And when it comes to outdoor season, I can't be affiliated with Kennesaw State, so like no conference, no nationals, NCAAs, anything like that. But I can do USAs. Since I'm a U.S. citizen, I can go to USAs, and I can go to meets unattached. So I can go unaffiliated with Kennesaw, so I'd have to drive myself, get my own stay and stuff. But then that annihilates, I guess, my 5th year. I get a whole extra year of competition. So I'll be older, probably more experienced, and
A little stronger, all that.
a little stronger, a little
technique,
better. Yeah.
little technique, a little better.
and hopefully can go out and win NCAAs.
So you can move up from Adam to Larry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
good.
yeah.
So that's. Do you have to redshirt both of them, or by just redshirting one, it will allow you a 5th year in both?
Well, so I'll do, if you redshirt, so I'll do like outdoor this next year, and then the next year I'll probably switch, and so I'll redshirt
gotcha.
indoor
I
and
gotcha.
compete outdoor.
Gotcha.
That way I'm not sitting out a whole year. I still get to compete a little bit.
And then you'll have 2 years of both left.
I'll have 1 full year of both,
Correct.
or 2
Okay.
half-half.
Her fifth year will be both
full
if she
year,
wants.
yeah.
And you're allowed to train, so you'll be allowed to train from July all the way through the end of indoor, which would be March or something like that, and then you can't be affiliated.
I can still practice with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I can still practice with them. I can still lift with them. I just cannot travel and compete with
Participate
them.
in
I gotcha. I
Yes.
gotcha. Well, okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool that you want to be around that long. So during that time off, when you're not doing USA meets or whatever, you could come and like be a co-host with us.
Yeah, for sure. I love that.
We would too. That's awesome. So indoors start September, October.
Indoors typically we'll have like our first meet in December, and then it's usually like December to like February, end of February is usually conference, and then we'll go March to July. June is outdoor.
Outdoor. So what do you do now between now and December? I know you train, but every day.
Wow, since I just finished my season, it's vacation mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For how long?
Just like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I knew
Not very
vacation
long.
mode wasn't that
Yeah,
long.
not very long, but I did get, I think, a couple weeks off since I've just had a really long season. And then when I come back, we'll probably just do some general prep training, probably with a bunch of heavy balls, get stronger, and then do a bunch of technical, a lot of reps, and hopefully by spring, drop down, go back to the competition hammer, and throw it really far.
Yeah. So the USA meets, how do they differ from like a KSU typical meet?
Okay, so KSU is obviously college, and even a meet like NCAA's. So NCAA's, you have a lot of foreigners. So the girl who won women's hammer, she's from New Zealand, and so typically in NCAA's you have a lot more competition because all the foreign kids are also competing for NCAA's. But USA's is strictly the U.S. citizens who compete for the U.S. national team. So it cuts out a lot of competition, and it's also more of what you'll see for like girls who make a world team or girls who make a like Olympic team instead of a bunch of girls who you probably see like at those meets, like worlds and stuff. Because like the girl who won NCAA's, I mean, she's on the New Zealand national team. She's really good. And
Where does she go to school?
She's at Harvard.
Harvard.
Yeah, I think she's transferring to UGA this next year for her graduate year. But
That's a big step.
yeah,
I would think you'd think somebody from Harvard had higher goals than to transfer to Georgia.
yeah. So she'll go to UGA, but she can't compete at the U.S. meet because she's not U.S. citizen.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's USA's is typically like U.S. citizens you'll most likely compete with at like Worlds and on an Olympic team.
And you came in, you were in 6th, I think, of the first round, right?
8th. I got 8th out of first rounds, which was super cool because I was supposed to get 12th.
Yeah.
So I moved up 4 spots and made it through, which was really cool. And then even at nationals, I got 17th, and I was supposed to get 24th. So
Yeah. And out of 24, you were supposed to get 24?
Yeah, because
Do these people not know that you've squatted ATI? How did they not know that?
well, it just happened.
She's not sneaking up on them next
No.
time.
Yeah, no. Now that I've squatted them, it's ready to go.
Now they know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. So if you take the international athletes out of the competition, where would you have come? What do you think? How many of the 16 ahead of you were international?
Probably about half.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably about half. Maybe a little more than half, honestly.
So maybe top 10?
Yeah, probably like top 10.
So, if this was a Olympic year, would the team would the people who are the 8 people ahead of you is that who you're competing with? So those are all people who have left college and they're 27 years old and this is what I do.
Yeah, the people you'll see on an Olympic team for hammer is the thing about women's hammer especially is the older you are. I mean, prime range is like 27 to 33 for women's hammer. So it's typically the older girls that are better because it's a really technical sport. So the more you do it, the technically better you get. So like, I mean, Brooke Anderson, Deanna Price, Gwen Berry, they're all above 27. And those are the girls you're going to see on the Olympic team.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's going to be you one day,
Yeah.
right?
When I get 27, I got a long 7 more years.
Is that a goal of yours?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even at this NCAA's, I was the youngest girl there. I was only 20-year-old there, and so that was really cool. But I'm definitely hoping to make the Olympics, hopefully. I don't think next year is going to be it, but I'm hoping for 2028.
Next year is 28 LA?
Yes, 28 to LA.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
It's in California, so Cali's got to go to Cali.
Cali, gotta go to
Cali.
Cali. We've already had a NFL football player on our show. Now we could have an Olympic athlete.
Bing, bang, boom.
That would be very cool.
Let me ask you this. You're a local girl. Tell us about your travels.
15 minutes down the road.
A very short distance down the road. How did KSU become the front runner? How did they become your number one? And why should the next person who's in your footsteps follow you here?
All right. Let me brief that. All right. Well, in high school, remember, I was a sprinter. Yeah, I didn't throw, but I was a sprinter. And so when I was in high school, I got a lot of offers from, because I was fast, but I wasn't like D1 athlete fast. And so I got a lot of offers from like smaller schools. A bunch of schools looked into me for being like a multi. And then it was until the summer before I graduated, or the summer right after I graduated, that I went to throw one deep. And Coach Mike was like, hey, like, we're going to throw some hammer today. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, like, sure, let's do it. And I got a little familiar with the hammer, and I threw in my first meet, probably like June 17th, I think, of the summer before that August that I did go in college. And then
So you graduated 3 weeks earlier, and then you were throwing the hammer.
Yeah, and then they were like, well, we'll offer you if you want to come here, we'll give you a spot on the team. And I was like, yeah. And the funniest part was Kennesaw State was my last school. without athletic purposes, just because it was so close. I didn't want to go 10 minutes on the road. I wanted to get out of here. I want to go to Tennessee, some big SEC school for join a sorority, stuff like that. And then when they offered me and like sports was back on the table, I jumped to it because I've always been an athlete. I've always wanted to be an athlete. And so, I mean, going to a Division I school, especially like Kennesaw State, whose track team is growing every year. I mean, we had a national champion. I mean, Sarah Hendricks, like 5-time
were you shocked to see her
All-American. Oh, I was her roommate in Texas, and that was sad. But
Did she tell you? Did you know before everybody else?
I mean, yeah, she's had a heck of a career.
Yeah,
crazy athlete. I mean, probably the best athlete to come through Kennesaw. And so just to see girls like that, and even like on our guys' side, I mean, our throw squad was number 2 in the nation for a really long time. And Coach Mike's a really good coach. Coach Kale's an amazing coach. And so to see all that and be able to go there, I took it. And sometimes it's not the biggest schools that's going to make the best products. I mean, like Isaiah Rogers, perfect example. Came from a big school like Virginia Tech, came to Kennesaw State and thrived and was a national champion.
Big fish in a little pond. There you go, yeah. That's awesome. That's all. Now, we had 6 athletes that went to the Nationals. Can you name them all? I know
Yes.
you and Anthony and Isaiah and Courtney.
We got Anthony Harrison,
Hey!
Courtney Lawrence, Callie Terza,
Who's she?
Isaiah Rogers,
Isaiah Rogers.
Sarah Hendricks, and Kelvin Campbell.
Kelvin's the one I couldn't
Yes.
remember, yeah. That's cool. So probably the most we've ever had go
Yeah.
to Nationals.
I mean, we brought 2 last year, so
Yeah.
giving 4 more is amazing. And especially, I mean, we had 4 of those were throwers. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's something.
That's something else.
And we had Isaiah who made it in 2 events. Like, we're making history at the school. We've never had a girl hammer thrower make it. We're making some history here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Do you know what a concierge is? So if you go to a really nice hotel and you're in a different town, you go up to the concierge desk and you say, hey, I'm looking for, where should I eat a steak? Or where I'm looking for a dance place. You know, and this is the person who's going to tell you everything. Are you kind of like the concierge of KSU since you are a local yokel?
Yeah.
You know, all these other people are coming from all over. They don't know anything about the
Yes,
area.
actually,
Do people ask you questions all the time?
If they don't ask, I tell them anyway. All my friends, I have introduced them to my favorite restaurant. I don't know if you guys know, Connie House. It's off Town Lake Parkway. It's in Woodstock.
Connie House?
Connie House. It's like a hibachi place. It is my favorite restaurant. And I brought
Second favorite restaurant.
second favorite restaurant behind Miller's Ale House.
That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, I introduced my friends to all of that, and it's like a 15-minute drive down the road. I take my friends like everywhere to any of my family stuff because, I mean, my mom lives 15 minutes down the road, grandma 15. That's Justin, my mom's boyfriend. He lives 15 minutes down. Like, everyone's so close. So I always like take them to the cool spots. We have Lake Allatoona where we have a houseboat there, so take them to the houseboat. Super fun.
Pretty
You want to
cool.
be my friend.
I'll ask you this about one. You ever been to Nuevo Laredo Cantina? Best Mexican this side of Mexico.
really?
The best.
Okay.
Been voted best Mexican in Atlanta 27 years running.
Oh.
Chuck's been in charge of the voting for years, though, so we're not sure
You
if
need
that
to
had
go
anything to do
off
with it.
off of Howell Mill Road in Atlanta on Chattahoochee Avenue.
That's awesome.
Larry can attest to that, right, Larry? Good stuff. Nuevo Laredo Cantina. So try
Awesome.
that out if you haven't. Of course, only one night away from Miller's Ale House, but go there when you go to. So that's a cool thing. Well, we wish you well.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hope you enjoy your. How many more days left do you have on vacation?
So you got about 2 weeks.
Coach K, it depends where I actually have to practice tomorrow morning. Because,
you really?
Yeah, we're going into Conference USA now. So we're doing like a cool little hype video, I guess, to like announce our,
That's awesome.
going in there. So I'm going to have to go do a little practice.
Yeah, I posted a great picture of you today on Facebook. You still haven't accepted my friend request, by the way.
Oh.
But
I don't even know how to work Facebook, so we'll go do that after this. Cause
but it's cool because it's the picture where you said you got selected or something for 2023. I put one of you and Anthony both on there.
Aw,
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'll have to go look at that.
Because I like invite people to come out tonight, and
Yeah.
look out, they've turned out in droves. And if they had have known that you were going to squat ATI, everybody from Etowah
be
probably
hanging from
showed
the
up.
rafters.
They'd have been coming out from everywhere.
Absolutely.
So I guess we're getting close to time. So if we could get Anthony back in here and get a picture of all 4 of us. Come here, Anthony. Scoot over here, Callie. Yeah, there you go. Scoot over here, Robert.
Hey.
Get the 4 of us.
You're
all of us.
picturing.
Yeah, picture thing. There you go. Larry's a little slow on the camera.
I was going to say, our producer, I think, is the wrong person to be having
I
that.
think that's it. All right. So we want to thank, as always, our fans for coming out. Will, Garrett, Carrick,
Absolutely.
all the
Thanks for
all
the
the bunch.
20.
And we have somebody all the way here from London. So London, thank you for coming over from Europe.
And just for the record, if you're home watching, we look forward to seeing Jan out here again really soon.
Jan Wilson, she's in Niagara Falls, I think, this week, but hopefully she'll be back soon. And,
Absolutely.
if she doesn't go over the falls in a barrel. So one more time, give me a big hooty hoo. All right, this is Chuck Burrs with Robert. We'll see you next week on the Owls Who Live Sports.